Even as the US and China face off in a power struggle, Singapore's Education Minister Chun Sing says the rest of the world should recognize its responsibilities to play a constructive role in shaping its collective future. Speaking at the 41st International Institute for Strategic Studies Fullerton Lecture, Mr. Chun also underlines the importance of maintaining a rules-based order. He says it's one of the ways Singapore can ensure its continued survival. Deborah Wong with more.
Very good evening to all.
Openness, inclusivity and connectivity. Mr. Chun describes these as Singapore's principled position in the face of the US-China tensions. The city-state does not take sides as a default without regard to the issue and context. Instead, Mr. Chun says it will work with like-minded partners. For instance, the digital economic deals it has with countries like UK and Australia, and the resources it has poured in to create sustainable solutions. Countries now need to pool capabilities to brace against future pandemics.
If Singapore, as a small city-state, can believe in and be committed to contribute where we can to a more secure and more sustainable world, then many more countries and corporates with greater resources and agency can do so similarly, if not more.
He says this global shared agenda is pivotal in charting the way forward, even as US-China tensions continue to simmer. Both countries may have different interests, economic models, and history, but Mr. Chun says there's value in building mutual understanding and interactions. Already, they share a common goal of upholding global security.
Success will be determined by the one who can best manage their domestic challenges and to exercise global leadership through the power of their example rather than the example of their power. Whoever can create more and better opportunities for the world, whoever can provide leadership for a more connected world, whoever acts in enlightened self-interest to benefit the world rather than narrow self-interest to benefit only itself, will succeed through the power of their example.
As it is, countries have signed multilateral trade pacts like RCEP and CPTPP, which Mr. Chun says sends a clear signal that most of them desire closer economic cooperation and a pursuit of a rules-based trading system.
The Education Minister also says Singapore needs to leverage its competitive and comparative advantages. This is so that it can be successful without natural resources. Speaking during the question and answer session at the IISS-Fullerton Lecture, he highlights that Singapore can overcome its limitations if it stays connected to the rest of the world. He gave the example of trade routes.
Trade routes can change, and trade routes have changed. And we should never be complacent that trade routes will not change. More interestingly, beyond geographical trade routes, in today's context, is the digital trade routes. Today, if we draw a map of the digital connectivity and geography, it will be quite a different map from the physical trade flows. And that is a new area of opportunity.
When it comes to regional security pacts like AUKUS and Quad, which Singapore is not a part of, Mr. Chun says it's necessary to engage all parties instead of choosing sides. This, he adds, signals consistency, a hallmark of the country's reputation.
If we are seen to be taking sides, we would have no credibility to bring different parties together. That people will suspect that we have an a priori agenda. But people generally see us as an honest broker. That while we may not have vested interest in a specific issue, we have vested interest in the principles behind how the issue is resolved. And that has been our consistent approach.